last week we did not get the chance to talk about the stupid regular host somehow forgot to talk about OpenAI Sora, so we're going to clean up the mess they left for us.
Wait till you see the mess of this producer's table when we're done.
Yeah.
The lights falling down.
OpenAI Sora, it's a text-to-video AI.
Yeah.
Just want to say, like, all the coverage I was reading about this were like, yo, like, this is the first to market, like, this is here. Runway has had text-to-video for a while.
You and Brandon always talk about Runway. What
we don't just talk about it, we use it.
Yeah,
like we use
what
it professionally.
specifically, like, it has this feature?
It looks more diffusion-y, you know, than the examples that it looks a little more spaghetti-y, but no, it's like, it's much more of like, well, first let's talk about the announcement. So on OpenAI's website, they made this announcement for this new thing called Sora. They are still red teaming it, which I think means they're trying to have people do bad things with it. So
yeah, it's like a security term.
Yeah. Again, we're not security guys, as you could tell from our cryptography quantum computing segment here.
Before I was almost killed by a light.
But it looks really good. And the cool things that they're sort of like pushing forward as big features, and these are things that I have found Runway to sort of struggle with. Custom resolution. So you're not just locked into like 720 or 1080 or 4K. You can do lots of weird resolutions, which sounds small, but when it comes to machine learning is big. Like I use this software called Touch Designer, which has some AI integrations. And I remember reading this whole thing about this facial recognition, facial tracking AI that someone built for it. Wouldn't work if you used a vertical webcam feed. Same exact thing, but as soon as you changed it from a horizontal to vertical thing, it just broke. But so yeah, custom aspect ratios, custom resolutions. It can do multiple figures and subjects really well.
Interesting.
So it seems like it's pretty cool. The part that I found really cool was in the sort of like tech paper thing that they published alongside. And that was that they already have GPT, which we know is a transformer model. And they already have DALL-E, which is... okay, I'm getting a note from my producers here, folks.
Live coming in. Breaking news.
Will Smith eating spaghetti. I'm assuming we're going to cut to that clip right here.
I guess so.
Does he make a sound in that video?
Oh, yeah.
Does he?
Boy.
Well, it also came back because he did like a post recreating it in person.
Yeah.
Will Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see it? Yeah, he tweeted it.
A video that said AI then, AI
Instagram
now, and it's just him redoing all of the scenes.
And he like unhinges his jaw like a snake in the video, right?
Well, no, it's the updated AI that doesn't unhinge the jaw. It's not actually
Him violently eating spaghetti.
It's
Okay, I gotta watch this.
It's just as crazy as you're imagining.
Oh my
But it's
gosh.
awesome. That's a win for Will Smith and his team, I think, right there.
Truly.
Like, there's a lot happening in his life and everything, but that was genius.
That was good.
But
was good.
It's interesting. So GPT is a transformer model. That's what the T stands for. DALL-E is a diffusion model. I'm pretty sure that's what the D in DALL-E stands for.
Sure.
Someone should double check that for me. But they're saying that Sora is a diffusion transformer or a transforming diffuser. It's like some combination of the two.
Oh, interesting.
Which is interesting, right? And it took me a little bit to get it, but the gist of it is that transformers are really good at sequential understanding, and they can do this across really long sequences. And that's why ChatGPT can write you 5 paragraphs, and the 5th paragraph still is related to the first paragraph.
Okay.
Language tends to work sequentially. Images do not work sequentially. They can have sequential elements in them, but they don't work sequentially. And that's why we use diffusion models for a lot of image generation stuff. Diffusion models are really good at understanding spatial relationships and building these sort of complex relationship networks where there's not a linear sequence to it, but there is still a connection of ideas. A video is a bunch of images that don't have these sequential relationships, but then the images are arranged sequentially.
Yeah.
So to generate a video from nothing, you actually need to deploy both kinds of models in tandem with one another. And there's a bunch of really interesting stuff about how the sort of like token system that a lot of transformers use doesn't exactly work for video. You got to use these sort of temporal tokens called patches. It's really interesting. I recommend, and this sounds silly, but this is actually what I did, reading the OpenAI paper with ChatGPT in another window so you can get clarification on stuff that's like a little too hard to understand.
That's awesome.
But
Did it lie to you?
I hope not. I hope not. It seemed like everything that I was reading was I could sort of fact check. I found this cool guy's blog. It's Jono, it's Jono with an H, JOHNO.com. Just some random dude's blog.
Not our Jono.
Not our Jono.
Got
Different Jono. I mean, unless Jono is like secretly an AI wizard. But the thing that I'm really excited for with Sora is if they're able to develop like a platform for it in the same way that Runway does. Because the Runway tool, you have like text to video. You also have image to video. You also have video to video. And the video to video is like really cool. Like the example they have on their website, which I think illustrates it really well, is someone set up a bunch of books standing up on a desk and then filmed a shot, and then using Runway was able to turn those books into skyscrapers and have it be like a city fly-through scene.
Interesting.
Then they also deploy the Runway models to do things like automatic background removal. If you've seen the Ellis versus AI video, the scene where like my hair is getting blown back and stuff, we didn't use a green screen. It was just shot in a normal room.
Oh, I was there.
And then we AI'd. Yeah, we just AI'd the background out.
We sprayed water on your face.
Yeah. So if Sora is actually all that and as good as OpenAI wants us to think, I can't wait to see the platform that it is wrapped in. Thank you for letting me talk about that for 15 minutes straight, America.
Nice. Let's go.
Quick fact checked. DALI is not an acronym.
It's not an acronym?
We've definitely talked about this before. It's just the combination of Salvador Dali and Wally.
Damn.
Nice. Well, I will say, Andrew, now that you're back in the pod talking, you mentioned the other day something really good that now I see in every like Sora video, which is the keying on like random movements. So like if you watch a video, the camera will just like drift to the right, and then out of nowhere, just like really hard start drifting to the left. It's like they haven't learned how to ease in and out yet, which is interesting.
Yeah, it felt like there was one specifically with a turtle, and it was kind of like panning on this turtle, and then just kind of like went left. It looks like anyone who's ever video edited before, the first time they add keyframe movements to something where there's not the smoothing, it's just like left, 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 right, 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 right. And like it's almost smooth, but not smooth at the same time. I don't know. If you know keyframes, you would see it in a second.
It's just very interesting because some of these demos are insane. Like it really replicates hand movement of like cameras that are holding, or people holding cameras and the little jittery things that you get. But then like that one motion, it just really messes up every time.
Yeah.
I watched every single thing I could find generated by Sora. And
Did you you should do a video on this.
Yeah, you should do a thing. No, I had showed a bunch of them in the video that we made, but it is remarkable how good it's gotten so quickly and how well it is able to reproduce the parts of videos that you can ask for. Like some of the prompts are like, make this look like 35mm film. Make this look like cartoonish or hyper super realistic. And it does that stuff too, which is crazy. And it does make me wonder, because now there's a meme of people tweeting real videos with
made by
a
Sora
prompt of like handsome man walks down Broadway, and it's just a video of themselves, and it's like, haha, made by Sora, but it looks like you. But now it's like, how many these videos really could just cross your Twitter timeline or Instagram timeline and just look like a real video, and you wouldn't know unless you watch it a third time or a fourth time, upon which it becomes very obvious when you see the things like the keying or like the legs overlapping or the hands turning into 7 or 12 fingers or whatever. But it's really fast.
It's
how
scary.
fast it's improving.
Like Mr. Cheda.
Oh no.
Mr. Cheda was this thing that spread around Twitter. It's really hilarious. It's a picture of a rat and wearing like a tuxedo jacket, I think, with his arms. He's standing on some carpet. He's rat-sized. And he's holding out his arms like this. If you just Google Mr. Cheda,
I already put it in the
it'll
chat.
come up.
It's not the first time we've looked at this on the podcast also.
Oh yeah, no, we've talked about Mr. Cheda before, but no one knew it was a Mid-Journey image until like months after it. Like not that obviously it's not a real rat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like everything is believable where if it just crossed your timeline, but a lot of times the giveaway is fingers. In a lot of these videos, it felt like the giveaway was like real world physics. It didn't quite get. Like there was the one of the birthday cake where candles are blowing in different directions, which didn't make sense. And there
Turbulence.
was inside your house. And there's another one of the cat in the bed with the person, and the bed comes, or the like blanket quilt comes from like behind her and just like flops over top of her with absolutely no movement. It's just like the way it moves is just totally wrong.
You know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have conservation of mass.
Yeah.
Like if you watch the iconic one everyone shared of the lady walking down the street in Tokyo,
Walking down
watch
the
her
street.
legs. They like merge and blend into each other over and over again and just swap back and forth. I don't know if you noticed that.
Like
I
that
did not.
that dance move with your knees.
Yeah, exactly.
Except her right leg becomes her left leg. And
Interesting.
then swaps back in. Like you said with the hands, like people will clap and the hands will just merge into one hand and then split back into two hands. Like that is weird. The blanket will like become more blanket and less blanket, and it looks physically realistic, but like also
How
where
did
did
that
that mass
happen?
come from
Yeah.
and why is it moving? Weird stuff like that.
It is weird.
Am I the only one that's like terrified of this?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
You too?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, I
yeah.
make videos, so I'm pretty worried.
I'm terrified, but I feel like I've gotten enough mileage out of the runway platform, and it's helped me do work enough that I'm feeling excited.
But you're not also trying to like de-establish a government or something, you know?
Not that you know.
Not that I know of. Not to my knowledge.
It has
Looking at you, Belgium.
No, we've talked about how the photo making tools have gotten to the point where we can use them as a tool. So it's like, oh, it's not good enough to replace me. Great. But it is good enough to be used as a brainstorming tool or even like a rough draft tool for me.
Yeah.
And even to the point where like, I said this in the video, the drone shot of Big Sur or whatever it was. I think that's good enough for, I think a lot of people looking for like
B-roll.
licensed footage who are going to buy a drone shot of Big Sur. Like there's enough high resolution video of drone shots of Big Sur that AI just made another one for you, and you don't have to now hire that drone pilot to make your own or pay that license fee to get that footage that already exists just for your, internal PowerPoint or whatever you're doing.
Damn, Samsung was ahead of the game with their moon photos.
What
There
do
is
we
no
think
photo.
uses more electricity? A drone flying into the sky over Big Sur and capturing, or the server farm that would generate
Okay.
a video?
Have you ever flown a DJI drone? Those batteries
I have.
Clarifying
go
question.
crazy.
How did the drone pilot get to the spot to take off?
Ooh.
Is his car electric?
Did he take a plane?
Did he fly to get
Yeah. No, he's a mountain man.
there? He crawled there.
He never leaves.
He's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing just kind of like, it's really cool, but like the first thing when you were playing it for me, when I walked in that morning, you were like, oh, look at these like new videos that dropped or whatever. I did not realize they were AI at all. I just thought you were watching videos. And like some of them, again, if you really look, like there's one with a guy reading a book. Remember you showed me that one? And like at one point, the page just kind of like flips up like one of those yellow notepad books, but he's holding like a novel. So it's like the page wouldn't turn that way. So that's like a tell. But at first, that was like 13 seconds into the video. There's a solid like 9 seconds of just a dude reading a book. And I didn't think anything of it.
And when I think about tech, like tech, theoretically, with people working on it, gets better and better and better, which means that the tell for us right now, which is, oh, did you catch that with the hands or the legs or the book page? The tells are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Theoretically, right?
One would hope.
Until it's completely indistinguishable from reality, right?
Which then what? What happened?
Which then you look around and you're like, what about this one?
Is this
Nah.
reality? Are we in an
Did
AI?
Vision Pro get that good that fast?
Yeah. Ellis Rovin's in this one.
So is Mr. Cheda.
Oh no.
We were talking about this before we recorded. I half feel like Apple invented these levels.
If you don't hit like and subscribe right now, that light is gonna kill Adam.